you plan to. We'll be much more comfortable as we get up into the 50s for afternoon highs. Still a little chilly up at Frisco today. We had some light snow off and on through the higher elevations, but plenty of sunshine here in Denver. This is our Museum of Nature and Science camera, and as you see, it's absolutely gorgeous out. Our highs today were in the low 40s, so just a little bit warmer than what we had yesterday. Tomorrow will be significantly warmer into the 50s here for the Front Range and the Plains. Temperatures in the teens and 20s for the higher elevations today as well. As I mentioned, it'll be warming up. We will experience more sunshine here into the next few afternoons, and then we have a snow chance coming into the Denver area by the time we get to Wednesday. So we'll keep tracking this storm as it heads this direction. But in the meantime, we get to enjoy some beautiful conditions here for the Denver area. 38 degrees outside right now. Our winds out of the west at 16 miles an hour, and our humidity level about 24%. And we mostly have 30s here from Aurora to DIA to Commerce City. Boulder at 35 degrees and 39 for Longmont. But our satellite radar picture, as you see, is very quiet here for the Front Range and for the Plains. Mostly clear skies. We did have some leftover cloud cover up in the higher elevations from some light snow this morning. Otherwise, it's very quiet statewide and will continue to be so in through tonight. Our next storm, though, is coming in from the Pacific Northwest, where they have rain and snow there now, and it will come this direction. Depending on how it holds together as it's getting closer to Colorado, really is going to determine how much snow we get. Right now, it looks like slight chances on Wednesday for some light snow here in the Denver area. Now, in through the overnight hours, we'll mostly drop into the 20s for our temperatures, but we'll have overnight lows that will actually officially be in the teens here around Denver and farther to the north around Greeley and Longmont and Platteville. Farther to the south, temperatures in the low 20s for overnight lows. So here in Denver, 17 is what we're expecting with partly cloudy skies. Still a little breezy out, but as you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the low 20s as you're heading out the door for work and school. Highs tomorrow in the low 50s, not only here but toward Colorado Springs and Lyman, a little cooler toward Fort Collins and up toward Greeley, mostly 40s up in the higher elevations and for the western slope as well. Right here around Denver, mostly low 50s and parts south, and then as I mentioned, a little farther to the north, about a 5-degree difference, a little bit cooler. Our futurecast, you notice this goes through the whole day and we don't see much on there. Not a lot of cloud cover and no rain or snow. And as for our watches and warnings, we have a red flag warning for southeastern Colorado and the eastern plains through tomorrow for high fire danger. It's going to be windy in places and the temperatures will be higher, so that's why we have that risk there. 52 degrees for our high tomorrow, and we'll stay in the upper 40s, low 50s for Tuesday as well. We will have increasing clouds as that storm comes down from the Pacific Northwest. We're expecting some light snow on Wednesday. We will continue to keep you abreast of the situation as it gets closer. About 48 degrees our high on Thursday, 50s into Friday and Saturday, and by Sunday we'll have highs right around 46 degrees with those overnight lows mostly in the 20s. So right now the models are in disagreement on this storm on Wednesday, so it looks like light snow for the time being, but as we get closer, we'll let you know whether or not that has a little more punch with it as it comes toward Colorado.
All right, we just need to be aware.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Stacy.
Sure.
Lindsey Vonn is returning to the United States, but not before leaving a piece of her life behind in South Korea. The unique things she did and what she has to say about it coming up. Back at 5, South Korea's presidential office says that North Korea's delegation to the Olympics is willing to hold talks with the United States. And now the White House is responding. In a statement, the Trump administration said, quote, "We will see if Pyongyang's willingness to hold up with talks is the first step in the path of denuclearization." The Winter Olympics have been emotional for Vail's Lindsey Vonn, not only because they are her last, but because she wanted to win a gold medal in memory of her grandfather, who recently died. He had a special connection to South Korea, serving in the Korean War. And now she's explaining why she chose to scatter his ashes near the Olympic course.
I chose to scatter his ashes here because I think it would mean a lot to him, and it meant a lot to me, and it was a big honor. And I still I have more ashes. I wear them in this locket, but yeah, he's always with me.
She is so at peace, it seems. Vonn also says she knows just how much it would mean for him to be back in South Korea and to see her compete. All right, the Olympic flame is no longer burning in Pyeongchang as the Winter Olympics came to a close today. So here is a look at the final medal count. The United States finished 4th overall with 23 medals, 9 gold, 8 silver, and 6 bronze. Norway, Germany, Canada, and the Netherlands round out the top 5 in the medal count. Much more ahead in our next half hour. Of course, we'll get you updated on our top stories. Plus, reaction continues to pour in just one day after Democrats released a redacted memo as a rebuttal to the previously released GOP memo.
I'm Lionel Bienvenu. We've got a nice little sports package coming up for you. Rams and Buffs fans, we got you covered with hoops and with Philip Lindsay and Michael Gallup working out together. And one of the best performances ever by a face-off man in college lacrosse history. The Beast is alive and well at DU. Later on Sports Extra.
Denver 7 back at 5:30 now with a look at our top stories. A 3-year-old involved in a horrific crash in Weld County on Friday morning has died. This happened off of Highway 52 and Weld County Road 41 near Hudson. Investigators say the mother ran a stop sign and then collided with the oncoming traffic. They say the fog made it hard to see the sign. The 29-year-old mother and her 6-year-old son were also killed in the crash. Several Colorado universities are speaking out, saying they will not penalize high school students for participating, that is, in walkouts. Students have been angry over gun control issues in the wake of that mass shooting at a Florida high school. You can read more about this right now on thedenverchannel.com. And this morning, Governor John Hickenlooper spoke to ABC's George Stephanopoulos on the show this week. Among the topics, the ongoing gun debate in America. He says something needs to be done, saying we're allowing ourselves to be terrorized because kids don't feel comfortable going to school. A live look outside, a beautiful end to the weekend, but back to work on Monday. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson tracking your first alert forecast. Stacey.
I could hear everyone say, hooray, work day on Monday.
Yeah.
We have some nice weather on the way, though. Afternoon highs will be back up into the 50s as we warm things up here into the next couple of days. As you see across the state, it's very quiet right now. We had a little light snow earlier today in the high country, but none here in Denver. Our afternoon highs were in the 40s today, but the wind making it feel a little cooler. It's been breezy here for our area, as it still is. Our temperatures mostly in the 30s right now. We have 38 at DIA and Aurora, 40 for Littleton, and 39 for Lakewood, some 20s up into the foothills. And tonight we're expecting an overnight low of 17 degrees with partly cloudy skies. We'll have temperatures for the most part in the teens and 20s here for the Front Range and the Eastern Plains, some single digits in there for good measure around Lyman, up toward Leadville and Eagle as well. So keep that in mind as you head out and about. But we do have chances for snow in the 7-day forecast. I'll show you what we're expecting here in the metro coming up in just a few minutes.
Stacey, thank you. New tonight from Aspen, one person is dead after a crash involving a commuter bus and a rental SUV. This happened this morning as the SUV was trying to merge onto Highway 82. That's just outside of Aspen. One person in the SUV died. 2 others were hurt. Only one person was on the bus at the time. Investigators say the bus driver that is, tried to avoid the collision but could not. Developing tonight, a large earthquake has struck the middle of Papua New Guinea. The U.S. Geological Survey is reporting a 7.5 magnitude quake. Right now, we are still trying to learn the extent of damage and if anyone was hurt. Looking ahead, a murder suspect is expected to be sentenced this week. Jeffrey Etheridge pleaded guilty to murdering Heather Hoffman as she was walking home from her job at McDonald's and then dumping her body in Sheldon Lake. This happened back last June. The judge added charges of sexual assault and kidnapping. That's on top of the murder charge he was already facing. And tomorrow, opening statements will begin in the retrial for Michael Blagg. He is facing charges in connection with his wife's murder and his daughter's disappearance 16 years ago. He was granted a retrial because it was discovered that a juror lied about her background. Blagg's attorneys now plan to introduce evidence pointing to a different suspect, someone called Mr. B. Lawyers say a search of his home turned up a note of alleged victims, including Blagg's wife and daughter. And on Wednesday, the trial begins between a Denver church and the city over marijuana. The International Church of Cannabis insisting it has done nothing wrong. This all started on 4/20 when undercover officers made their way into the sanctuary and then later issued citations. A city spokesperson says the church does not have a legal social consumption license allowing people to smoke marijuana inside. The church doesn't see it that way. They say marijuana is part of their ritual and church service. The city says smoking will not be allowed inside regardless if they win or lose the trial. The Russian probe is still making headlines tonight. The Democrats finally releasing their memo, a rebuttal of sorts to a controversial GOP document alleging the FBI basically abused its powers in the Russia investigation. The president tonight is now weighing in, and ABC's David Wright has more from the White House.
This is the memo in the middle of this fight, the Democrats' point-by-point rebuttal of another Republican memo released weeks ago. Subject line, correcting the record, the Russia investigations. As it says right there on the bottom, top secret until now, when the Republicans finally got around to declassifying it. President Trump wasted no time declaring the new memo a total political and legal bust on Twitter, dissing it on Fox News, too.
The memo was a nothing. That's a very bad document for their side.
Congressman Devin Nunes, who wrote the original Republican memo accusing FBI investigators of abusing their powers to spy on candidate Trump, told conservative activists this weekend he wanted this Democratic response out weeks ago when the White House released his memo.
We want it out because we think it is clear evidence that the Democrats are not only trying to cover this up, but they're also colluding with parts of the government to help cover this up.
The author of the new memo, Democrat Adam Schiff, doesn't buy that.
If the president really thought that this Democratic memo was a bust, he wouldn't have tried to conceal it as long as he did, and he wouldn't be releasing it on a Saturday morning. And he wouldn't be going on Fox today to try to rebut it.
Schiff's memo insists the FBI and the Department of Justice did not justify early wiretap warrants in the Russia investigations solely on the so-called dodgy dossier compiled by former British spy Christopher Steele and paid for by the Clinton campaign. The Schiff memo insists DOJ provided additional information obtained by multiple independent sources that corroborated Steele's reporting. But whatever that evidence might have been is now blacked out, censored by the Trump White House, which insists releasing the details would compromise national security.
While we would have preferred fewer redactions, I think what they proposed was reasonable. But I think that doesn't obscure the fact that the White House attempted to suppress this memo.
So an update to all of this. President Trump taking to Twitter calling Schiff, quote, a phony. Schiff says he is not surprised by the Trump criticism. And of course, the back and forth continues. You can always get the latest on our free Denver 7 app.
I'm meteorologist Stacey Donaldson. Another cool night for us, but things are about to start to warm up. And then we have a chance for snow. I'll have all the details coming up in just a few minutes.
An update that we're going to put in the breaking news category. Of course, we want to remind everyone to vote for Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson and Ann Trujillo to be the next voices of the DIA train. But airport officials telling us in the last few minutes they are having technical difficulties with the website. They say they are working on it and will keep you updated when it's fixed. You still have until 11:59 p.m. to cast your vote. We've posted more information on how you can do that. Just check out thedenverchannel.com. Hopefully this will be resolved quickly, Stacey.
Right? We can't use technical difficulties. Good news on that. You can pick a male voice and a female voice, so you don't have to split the difference between either Mike or Ann. You can vote for both of them. Speaking of beautiful weather, which we were just a minute ago, partly cloudy skies out here across the Denver area, and it will be warming up here in the next few days. We're kind of coming out of the deep freeze we've had for about a week now. Temperatures in the low 40s for us this afternoon, mostly teens and 20s up through the higher elevations, and for our northern mountains, mostly 20s for afternoon highs. But it will be warming up, and we'll be in the low 50s here for tomorrow, close to 50 on Tuesday, more sunshine on the way, so it'll feel really nice. And then we have another chance for snow coming in by Wednesday, so still a little winter on tap for us. 38 degrees outside right now, our humidity level at 24%, and our winds in from the west at 16 miles an hour. So at this point, we still have some upper 30s here from Longmont to Commerce City, 40 in and Littleton, and mid-30s toward Castle Rock, Parker, and Elizabeth at this point. It's been very quiet across the state. We have mostly sunny skies here for the Front Range and the Plains. Some cloud cover up through the mountains where we had some light snow early this morning, and then that tapered off as we went into the afternoon. But here's our next storm. It's up in the Pacific Northwest. It's headed this direction, so it will be here on Wednesday. Depending on how it holds together as it comes this direction will change how much snow we do or do not get by the time we get to the middle of the week. The time being, though, we'll have temperatures in the 20s as we head toward midnight tonight. Our overnight lows officially expected to be in the teens from DIA downtown. We'll have teens across the eastern plains and mostly 20s farther to the south, up around Fort Collins and Greeley. Temperatures between 11 and 16 degrees. Here in Denver, partly cloudy, 17 for our overnight low. And then we'll warm it up a little bit more to 23 as you're waking up with partly cloudy skies tomorrow, and our highs in the low 50s tomorrow during the day. So about a 10-degree warm up for tomorrow afternoon with plenty of sunshine. We'll have 60s here for southeastern Colorado. Because of the warm temperatures and some breezy conditions, we have high fire danger for southeastern Colorado. I'll show you that red flag warning in just a minute. But for highs tomorrow here in Denver, low 50s. Mostly 40s farther to the north, and then 30s and 40s for the higher elevations. As for our futurecast, you see as this rolls through the entire day from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., everything is quiet statewide, so no rain or snow expected anywhere tomorrow. High fire danger, though, here from Burlington to Lamar, down toward Trinidad and just south of Pueblo. So southeastern Colorado under the gun with high fire danger throughout the day tomorrow. Our 7-day forecast keeps us on the mild side here Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures right around 50 degrees, and then we'll drop in